Hello, this is a vegetable growing, myth busting video short. It's to help new gardeners manage their expectations. In today's video we'll discuss the view that you can regrow store-bought celery. Some years ago I came across a video, Regrow store-bought celery. In fact, I came across a lot of videos, Regrow store-bought celery. Some of them were actually entitled Regrow vegetables from kitchen scraps. Well, I had to have a look at that. And celery, wow, it was so easy. All you had to do was cut the base off it, cut the root base off it. All that part you're going to eat, and this part that you just cut off, you're going to support it with some cocktail sticks over a glass of water so that the base touches. It's going to grow roots and it's going to grow more celery. Well, I don't know about you, but I thought this is what I was going to get. The title did say Regrow store-bought celery. Well, that's store-bought celery, so I was expecting something like this in return. Let me cut you to some screenshots that I took of me and my attempt to regrow store-bought celery, then come back to me. Well, what do you make of that? I mean, we've got off to a good start. There's no doubt about it. This celery will readily throw roots down and readily throw shoots up. But then there comes a time when you realise this thing's going to be too big to stay in your kitchen, so it goes outdoors. I think I potted it up into a yoghurt pot to get it established, to get a root ball established, and then potted it up into a 10-inch water bucket, by which time it was outdoors. It was far too big to be indoors. And did you see that rare footage of me there standing behind the celery plant? Boy, it was as tall as me. It was as tall as me. But what you actually find is, whereas this celery, all the celery stalks grow from the base, when you regrow celery, all it wants to do is throw up a seed head on the end of a stem that will be as thick as a brush shank and as tall as yourself, and partway up that, one or two of these stalks will appear, and there definitely will be loads of leaves. But it's not a bunch of celery. It's nothing like the celery you've bought from the store. If you want celery like this, you need to grow it from seed. You just cannot regrow celery to look like store-bought celery. You can't do it. And I think that celery that I grew finished up in the bin. It was tough, it was stringy, it wasn't worth the effort. And of course I left some comments on regrow celery videos, kitchen scrap videos, about not getting a bunch of celery. And that's when the kitchen gardener would explain, well, you don't get a bunch of celery. No, you get a celery plant and there's lots of celery on it. Have you tasted it? There's lots of celery on it, and furthermore, wow, there's lots of these leaves on it. Well, what are you going to do with celery leaves? Are we back to the old, it's good in soups, it's good in stews conversation? Are we back to that conversation? You can use it as a garnish. Well, that might be true, but the reason you went to that video in the first place was to regrow store-bought celery, not to grow leaves, not to grow skinny stalks that, unless you put it through a liquidizer, it's probably unpalatable. And now then, before I finish this video, let me show you this. I mean, some people, the face that some people have got, let me show you this. Talk about mislead the public. Let me show you this. So this is what got me going. This looks easy enough, doesn't it? After you've chopped the celery, place it root side down in clean water for around a week. Then you get a few shoots growing. It's just suspended with those cocktail sticks. Mine, a week later it'll be a lot bigger than that, and a lot bigger and a lot bigger, and it'll start getting bigger and bigger, and you will need to move it outdoors as I did. But you will need to be changing the water as well, because that'll start to need changing as the weeks go by. But hey, where's this going to lead us? How's this going to end up? Well, hey, check this out. This is what you're led to believe is going to happen if you transfer that celery up into a bucket, into a bag, into a bed. Check this out. Wow, get in there, Morton. You've got to give this a go, having watched that video, haven't you? Look at that. Then transfer the celery to rich, well-drained soil and watch it really start to take off. Hold on, hold on. I just told you can't grow a bunch of celery from store-bought celery. What's all this about? I'll tell you what all this is about. That's me on there. That's me harvesting celery from a bucket that I've grown from seed. So, somebody has just totally ripped that off one of my videos, added that text to it, and told a blatant lie. A blatant lie. That celery was grown from seeds. It was not grown from store-bought celery, chopped off at the bottom and stuck in water. And hey, there's quite a bit of this on YouTube. Quite a bit. If you want an honest gardening channel, you've found it now. And if I find something that needs calling out, I'll call it out. And I'm calling this out today. That was taken without my permission from one of my videos and then misrepresented. Don't tell me to take it up with YouTube. I've already done it. I've already done it. But this is what you're going to come across as you watch gardening videos. So once you've found an honest channel, and you've found an honest channel now if you're watching this video, come back again. I'll only give you the truth. Just the truth on homegrown veg. Win or lose, you get the truth. And the truth is, you cannot regrow store-bought celery to give you a bunch of celery that look like the celery you've just bought from the store. It can't be done. At least I could. At least I couldn't do it. I could not. I could have a plant that was as big as me and finished up throwing it in the bin. If you want to give it a go, give it a go. And hey, if you pull it off, come back and tell us. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.